everyone, it's Mona. I'm in the craft room and it's Friday, so that means it's another Coaster Friday. I've had a lot of requests for wedding coasters, so I am going to do a wedding coaster today, and I'm going to also try a different technique that somebody had asked me to do quite a while ago and I hadn't gotten around to, and that is to use two different colors and to see if I can't blend them together. So that's what I'm going to do for the background. And the products I'm using Easy Cast, and I'm using, not those, transparent red and transparent blue dyes. And these are made specifically for resin. And this is the coaster mold that I'm using, and I will link on my website at craftclatch.com. You can find links for these products if you're looking for it and if you want to try it. I'm also going to try, I'm thinking a little bit of glamour dust in there. So I prepared my resin, and I'm going to split it in two. And I'm going to throw some blue into the one. I'll do a couple drops. I mean, I want it pretty bold, but I don't want it so dark that it's barely transparent anymore. So I'll mix that in there really good. And I do kind of want a little bit of a bolder background just because this is what I'm going to be using in the forefront. And this I got at Hobby Lobby. I'll see if I can't find that on Amazon and link it also. But if I can't, Hobby Lobby is where I got it. We won't get a really true feel for it until we unmold it. And that's because we've got to have this orange color of the mold behind it. So it'll be interesting to see how it all comes together. You can personalize this also to the wedding colors. Okay, and what I'm going to do, and I'm not sure if this is a great idea or a bad idea, I'm going to throw a little bit of glamour dust in there because I want it to have just a little bit of shimmer going on too. So there's that. I don't know if you could see the shimmer in there, but actually I like it. And this is a very light glitter, so I'm hoping that it floats even after I pour it and it has time to settle. But it's like a dust, and I'll have that linked for sure on Amazon too. Okay, let me pop these closed. Get them out of the way. And now what I'm going to do is just take these stir sticks out. And I like to work on a silicone mat just so that if anything spills or whatever, I can clean it up real easy. So I'm going to try to pour these at the same time, and I'm going to kind of go from an outer edge and kind of let them find each other, and hopefully they'll kind of intermingle. I'll take my lighter, run it right across to get rid of any bubbles that rise to the surface, and then I'm just going to leave it. It seems like it's mixing a little bit here, not so much there, and we'll just have to let it go and see how it comes together. I had very little left over of the resin, the red and the blue, and so I just scraped out as much as I could and just dropped it into this coaster, which if you watched the dragonfly, my resin dragonfly video, you would see that this part was left over from there, and I just dumped it in there, and I'm just going to make a coaster just of leftover stuff. So I'm just going to let that sit until the next project, drop a little more in there, see what happens, and eventually we'll have kind of a mix mash of coaster stuff. Okay, I've decided I'm a little impatient. So I don't know that this is going to mix as much as I'd hoped, and it's looking maybe a little too patriotic. So what I'm going to do now instead, I'm going to kind of see if I can't swirl this together so it doesn't look quite so red and blue. And I realize this might not work quite as well as I'm hoping, but it's making some cool swirls which might just blend right into the other side. So it's a chance I'm going to take. It just seemed a little too stark. Now I'm gonna leave it. It's been over 12 hours and here it is. It's swirled together. It didn't mix, the colors didn't mix as much as I'd hoped they would. So I'll have to keep experimenting with that. So I'm gonna take my little sticker, my little gem sticker. Okay. I'm questioning my color choices, but we've come this far, so we're gonna keep going. And now I'm gonna prepare my resin. So I'm thinking this needs a little bit more, and I'm gonna use these white pearls that I had left over from, and they're half pearls. And I'm gonna, I'm gonna take a little bit of my super glue. Take a tiny dab, put it on there, place it where I want it. Then I'm going to go across. Then I'm going to go across and do the same thing. I screwed up right over here and I shifted my pearl, so I'm going to have an imperfection right there because I shifted it, and I'm trying to think of a way to cover it up, but I can't at the moment. And when I put the resin on the super glue, it kind of makes a funny texture. So you'll see it. You'll see my flaw on there, but at least you get the overall picture of it. So we'll keep going with it. So I was really irritated with myself when I smeared that one pearl around a little bit and got the super glue on it because I knew that that would make it not look good. So what I did is I thought, oh my gosh, what can I do to cover this up? And I didn't think I'd find anything, and then I found these gold jump rings that I had, and I thought, I'll just throw those around it. They should sink. I didn't glue it or anything, and so they should not float when I put the resin in. And I thought, well, that kind of gives it a little bit more of a decorative look, and it will cover up my little flub. So there you go. It's time to pour the resin on. Now I'll just take my lighter, run it across, get any bubbles. And those jump rings did not float, which is excellent. And then we'll just let it sit for 12 hours and then we'll come back and unmold it. It's time to unmold the coaster. And here it is. Now you can see right through it, and it did mix a little bit, and you can kind of see some of the swirls going through here. I don't know if you can see it or not. But I do like the jump rings around the pearls. I like the way that ended up, and you know, I don't know if I would do this color scheme again for a wedding coaster, but I really thought it would be like a lot of purple. But you know, live and learn. Who knew? I hope you like it. I'm going to try some more experimenting with the transparent dyes and see if I can't get them to mix a little more, see if I can't figure something out. And we will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting.